Hey Chris, it's Matt. I'm going to give you a brief little introduction to the admin side of the Stats and Standings site and show you how things are done here. So first you'll want to, of course, when you're in your Stats and Standings, you'll see a little admin button here and you'll want to sign in. And multiple people can be signed into this thing at once. So if you have a password and you want to share it, or, an account and you want to share it with some of your employees, feel free. When you log in, it will take you to the current leagues list. Here's all the leagues that we have registered right now at Marysville. Here's all the leagues that are playing. You could look at a league here, Co-Ed, May 2023, and you click on all the teams. Here's all the teams. Here's all the players on the team. You can, if you want, you could designate players as captains or goalies. You can do that here if you'd like. Here you could edit a player. You could edit their number. You could designate them as captain or goalie or whatever it is you want to do. You could also remove a player if you want. So there we go. So these are all the teams here in the Co-Ed League. Just like you could edit players, you could also edit a team. Say I spelled this name wrong, I can go in here and change the name of the team, and you could also remove them. You sure you wish to delete Chaos? This will also delete all the rostered players from this team. We're not going to do that, but now once a league is done, once a session is done, and you want to start the next session, you could always archive a league, which means you push them to the back and they won't show up anymore on the users drop down in here, right? They'll no longer show up, but we will hold on to them. We want to hold on to all the previous leagues because that's how we track the player history, all their stats and statistics for every league they've played in. So we do keep that information. To create a new league, you could either click down here in the current leagues. You could click here. So we could create a new league. We could call it Test League 2023 session. We'll call it July. You could add that league and it shows up here. Here you can add some teams to it. Blue, red, add some teams. You could add players to the list if you'd like. So this drop down here shows every player in the system that we have. Right? You enter the players into the system one time and then you could put them on as many teams as you want. This is my kid. We'll make him the goalie, or the captain, excuse me. We'll make me the goalie, even though I'm not a goalie. Though I did great at second base, but I don't think I'm a goalie. So we could add players. So now we added some players to this team, right? So now if you go into your stats and standings and you want to look at teams, you can look at the test teams or the test league that we just created. Here's the 2 players in the league. You can see my player history here, and you see that here's the newest instance of me that we just created, the test league. Alright, so this is live. I'm going to end up deleting all this, but anyway. So that's how you could create a league. You could also create a league by copying an existing league, like our adult leagues, our over 40 teams that I play on. Every session it's the same 4 teams, and it's the same players on a team, so you could pick a team here. Over 40, and we're going to just copy this league. Instead of it being June 2023, we're going to make it, I don't know, we'll call it December. I have to remember to delete this stuff. So you could create a new league that way. Now you'll see we have a new December league with 4 teams. There's the 4 teams, and there's the players. They all just transferred over, and then there's a new instance of them now. We could do that by looking here, December. There's nothing scheduled yet. Let's go to stats and statistics. Stats and standings, excuse me. December. So here's the December league that we just created with all the teams, all the players. You look at the player history and you'll see that Michael Neely here has a new version of himself from December that we just created. In fact, I'm going to go in and I'm going to delete that league because that's going to mess some people up. December, delete league, test league. We'll keep the test league there. So The next important thing you need to see are the add players and the all players tabs. This all players, this is all the players in the system that have ever played in Murraysville, at least since the birth of this application. You see there's 1,210 players listed in here, right? All you have to do is just fill this add players in. This is just for adding a player to the system. You only need to add a player to the system one time. If you ever add, you just have to add them one time. You could put them on as many teams as you want after that. As long as they're in the system, they are there, right? So what I'll do sometimes, I'll get a roster from the league, and I'll sort of go through the roster. I'll do Control F to find, and I'll look to see if they're already in here. Okay, they're already in here, so I'm not going to add them again. If you don't find them, you can go into the add players and add them. Sometimes I'll keep two tabs open. One so I can add players, and another one so I can look to see if they're already there. But the reason we have this all players in the system, and the reason we have one instance of them, and then we can make multiple roster players instances of them, is so that they can see their player history, which is important. Let's go to venues. This is simple. We have 2 venues. We used to have 4, but we got rid of the one arena this past week. So we just have an outdoor deck, and then we have an indoor deck. I think Leominster has 3 or 4 rinks, so you could add your different rinks in here. Add games. This is how you would add a game for a league. So I have this set up so you can select your league, and the way their system used to be is you'd select a league and then you'd select the teams, and every team in every league would show up here, and that caused a lot of problems. So now I have it set up so that when you select a league, these drop downs change to only the teams in that league. So you'll select your team, Penguin Green versus Penguin Silver, give them a venue, we'll have them play inside, give them a date, we'll do July 1st, we'll do it at 1 o'clock in the morning. If you don't know the times yet, you can click on time to be determined. If it's a playoff game, you could click that. If it's a championship game, you could click that. And doing that, selecting playoff or championship, changes the way you enter the game results. So we don't keep track of stats, personal stats or anything like that for a playoff game or championship. They don't go towards a player's stats. All that does is it ensures us that we have a final score. That's it. No player stats, just win-loss points. So we'll create this game. We'll create this game, and then we'll create a championship game. Penguin. We'll do it for today's date. This will be a 2 a.m. game, and it'll be a playoff game. And then we'll have white versus yellow, and we'll put them the outside deck. Alright, so we'll add these 2 games. So they've been added. Now we can go into the full schedule. Marysville has this set up. They wanted to see just this week's schedule, but you could also look at the full schedule. However you want to do it. I could set this up however you want, or I could just do a full schedule. Doesn't matter. Here you could select, you could filter by your venue, right? Or you could filter by your league. So let's filter by league because we just made 2 games for Penguin. Where are they? They're down here. So here's the 2 games we just added. July 1st, 1 a.m. July 1st, 2 a.m. If we decide we want to change something, we can go and change this so you have the wrong team or the wrong time or something. Go in there and change it. However, once a game has been filled in with results, you cannot, like this game here has already had the results, 7-1. You can't go in and edit the game after the results have been done. So let's enter results here. This is what the game results look like. Let's give it a score. You can make it a final game. I have a to be played here in case like someone enters the wrong game stats and they have to go back and change it. You can go back to TBP. But we have a final score, or we have overtime or shootout, because obviously you get a loser point for an overtime or shootout loss. So we'll do the final. We'll say green 1, 2-1, and then down here you can go and you can give players their assists, their goals and assists. So we'll give Gunner 2 goals, and we'll give Andy, we'll give him 2 assists, and Penguin, we'll give Jack Filiano, we'll give him 1 unassisted goal. You could also enter penalties here, but Murraysville doesn't do it, but I know the high school ball hockey league wanted penalties. You could add penalties here if you'd like. If you click on the player, this gives you every player on both teams. Penalties, this gives you all the hockey penalties that I could Google and find. You could enter the period, you could enter the time, you could enter how many penalty minutes they got, right? So here's the final score. Let's save it. Comes back to the screen, you'll see Penguin Silver at Penguin Green. Now let's go to the next game. So this is a playoff game, right? So we're not keeping track of individual scores or individual stats. All we care about is the final score. So we'll have white beats yellow 3-2. Sometimes people will like to write something special in here. They'll say, you know, great game by Matt, who had a hat trick. Yay, good job. We can save that. And now when people are looking here, they go to schedule. This is for the end users, right? This is for the players and parents or whoever. So we could look at Penguin. Here's the 2 games we just entered. Silver at green. Final score was 2-1. You click on it, get a little game summary, see who scored what. Gunners with 2 goals, Andy has 2 assists, Jack Filiano with a goal. Playoff game, you can click on the final score here. Say, great game by Matt, who had a hat trick, yay. Okay, that's how that's done. What else do I want to go over with? So first of all, let's go in and delete those games that I just entered. I'll show you something else. The high school ball hockey league, Scott Tarzi wants a score sheet. So this is a printable score sheet, right? So you could print this out. You could print this out before a game. You could print this out after a game. It shows this stuff if you want. I know Scott, I think, wants to print them out before a game takes place. That way this screen is all blank. There's no stats or anything, and then the players can go in here and they can enter it by hand. If you really wanted to, you could pop up the game results page here, or a referee can do this. Bring this up on their iPad while the game is actually playing, and they could record their stats live as it happens. So you don't have to go put it down in paper and then come back and copy it onto the website. You can do this live while the game's taking place. But that's up to you if you want to do that. Let me go back and delete these games. Penguin. Let me get rid of these. Yes, I want to delete it. Yes, I want to delete it. So that, a quick rundown. It covers about everything. Here's my test league. I want to get rid of that. Right, and when you get rid of that, that's let's see. When you get rid of that, Penguin. Let's go to stats and standings. Bear with me here. So here's Jackson. So he no longer appears in that test league that I just created. His player history is now gone. I don't know why that bar gets so big sometimes. But that's a quick rundown of the admin. I think when you're logged in for about 5 hours. You'll know when you log out. You'll come here and the screen's blank. But that should be everything. I think I touched over everything. You can add an event if you'd like. Marysville sometimes uses this, sometimes they don't. Like if you just want to put down, stick time, or there's pickup hockey every Friday at 10. You could set that a reoccurring event for a year, which means we'll look up every Friday at 5 o'clock or whatever. You could have pickup, but they don't really use that much. And here's of course the home button, and then this home button will take you back to the main website. Eventually, here we go. And you'll see this is how I integrated. This is their website, and this was not made by me, but I was able to go in. I have access to their source code, and I made these drop downs for the leagues, and I go in and I edit these drop downs every time a league changes. I'll go in here and change the URLs for the schedule and the stats and standings. So that's what I mean when I say I could integrate this into your already existing site. All right, I hope that was helpful. I'm going to go and send you this video. All right, thanks.